Hey gang, what is going on? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. Today on the table in front of us, we have something new from the folks at Alien Knives. This is a custom fixed blade that you can get on the Alien Knives website. I will post a link in the description below if you're interested. It is just a phenomenal little EDC sized fixed blade. Well, EDC slash camp level knife. It's EDC sized for me. For some of you, it might be a little big, but I have really enjoyed this thing. The handle is exceptionally comfortable, and now let's take a look at what you get. Now, it does come with this style of sheath, which is almost sort of just a blade cover. You can put a clip on here if you want. I'm having Chris Luthi, Chris the holster guy, I will put a link to his stuff down below as well, make me a slightly more covering sheath. It's just what I prefer, but they do come with this. Take a look at this. Isn't that awesome? Now, this is 80 CRV2 steel. It is forged by him and ground out by him, shaped and everything by Lewis over at Alien Knives. These scales, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to show this to you. I don't really have a... Yeah, it's not going to work. These are glow scales. These glow in the dark, and they really glow. But you can get these in any color you want. The blade itself is hollow ground and comes to a very nice edge. But most importantly, this knife is very comfortable in hand. Comes a little lanyard with a 3D printed little lanyard bead on the back, which, if you need to pull back from the handle, actually does serve quite a purpose. You guys know I'm not generally a lanyard user, but fixed blades are a little different than folders. This is just an excellent design. I had this out at, you can see his little logo right there on the handle. I had this out at a property that I helped manage the other day, and I beat the snot out of it. Now, it does have the, he leaves the scale, a little bit of the forging scale on, and I'm pretty sure we're calling this his Martian finish. And you can see through here where some of it did wear off a little bit. I was doing feather sticking. And, you know, because it's scale, it will come off, but it just adds to me to the character of the blade. My understanding is you can actually order these with the scale knocked off if you want. That would be up to you. I like it this way. It's very comfortable, and in fact, it reminds me of my absolute favorite fixed blade of all time, at least in comfort in hand, which of course is the Chris Reeve Nyala. Now, are they the same? No, absolutely not. But the way that the handle is shaped, flaring at the tail to fit into the swell of the palm, has always been one of my favorite things about this particular knife. It is hollow ground as well. This, of course, these are kind of hard to come by. This was a wedding gift from Women Carry Knives, something I am eternally grateful for. But now I have one that is considerably less expensive, although made with no less loving care and attention, that feels very similar in the hand, right? This knife, from this position, like I said, I was doing some hard whittling and stuff, grinding myself down on a piece of wood yesterday, and it just, there were no hot spots, right? You could just do all the work you wanted. It was really, really very good. The way that the blade is shaped, if you needed to use this, now again, 80 CRV2 is not stainless, so you know, if you're going to do this part, you're going to want to take care of the blade afterwards. But you could easily use this on a camp kitchen or any sort of kitchen environment if you had to. And of course, it comes with an edge that's nice enough to do just that. I think they have really nailed something here, and I very much hope these either become something they sell a ton of, or maybe he'll find a company to make a production version of this in a stainless steel. I think that would be fantastic as well. So let's go ahead and get a look at the overall dimensions of this thing while we're sitting here staring at it. These are right around $100. Could be a little more, a little less, but they're super reasonable for a custom fixed blade. I mean, that's outrageously reasonable. And again, his link will be down in the description. I wouldn't sleep on one of these. This is a great size knife. So what do you get? You get 3 inches of cutting on just about 3 3/4 inches of 80 CRV2 steel. The grip area from behind that into that first choil, right, comes to just right here, comes to 3.5 inches. So my pinky is right at the end of the handle, but because of the way this is shaped and because of the lanyard, it's not an issue at all. I get a really good grip on this thing. The knife itself, from end to end, right, looks like, what are we, 7 1/4? Yep, 7 1/4 inches. So it is a really nice sized blade for daily carry. And again, because of the way that this is shaped, you just can't go wrong. It has a really nice sharpening choil, right, down here right next to the plunge, down to the plunge grind. Because these are hand ground, mine, it looks like Lewis got a little carried away back here on the final grind. That's okay. The blade itself, what are we looking at? We're looking at 1 inch and just about 1 1/4 inches, a little less than, in height. Now, ordinarily that would mean you wouldn't have a lot of room to come down to a really good edge, but because this is a very light hollow grind, it makes up for the fact that it's got this large flat. And of course, the shape of this blade lends itself to draw cuts this way and just any sort of cut that involves moving your hand forward on the blade. I don't know. I think they have a real winner here. This thing is it's just very good. So, excuse my arm, we're going to do a size comparison with a knife that is similar in dimensions. Yeah, if you like the size of the bug out, you're really going to like the Tutank here. Now, I actually prefer the Tutank because it isn't quite as light, although it is not heavy, and the thicker handle and the swell at the base of the handle gives me a much better grip than I get on the bug out, right? You get almost an identical amount of cutting area on the blade, but you get thicker stock, of course. Speaking of how much it weighs, let's do that. See where we fall out. Without the sheath, you're looking at 3.8 inches, you know, for a 3.5 inch blade. It's a really good EDC weight. I suppose we should put the little sheath cover back on and see what that adds to the party. So 4.4, so this is about an ounce, a little under an ounce. You're really, with a pocket style clip, one of the ones that fits right here and locks us into the pocket, this would be a great carry. And if you had a sheath made, which they're not that expensive, you could get one that comes a little farther up the knife. You have just a little bit of knife exposed. And that's, in the end, what I'm going to do with it. The rest of the specs on this thing are equally enticing. I mean it. I think the folks over at Alien Knives really have a winner here. All right. Let's see. You get, the blade stock is just about 3.5 millimeters, 3.44 millimeters. The handle, because these are flat slab, they're not, I mean, everything is knocked down and very comfortable, but here they're flat through there. So we're at 14 millimeters or just a little over a 1/2 inch. The swell at its tallest right here isn't just, we missed it. There we go. Just a hair over 1 inch. And of course down here, a little over 1/2 inch. It makes, again, for a very comfortable knife to hold and use. And in the end, unlike folders that have fidget factor and a whole bunch of other stuff that can sort of make up for a mildly uncomfortable handle, a fixed blade doesn't offer that. What it needs to do is live on your hip or on your belt or in your pack or wherever you want to put it, come out of the sheath easily and go to work comfortably. And this will do just that. And that's where we're going to wrap it up. It's hard to do long videos on fixed blades because they don't have action and they don't have those other things. And I'm not going to sit here and feather stick on my table, but I have done it. This does a great job of it. You could baton this if you needed to. You're batoning little tiny pieces of wood. Anyway, this is the Alien Knives Tutank. I am very glad to have it in the collection, and of course it's going to go into my camping and outdoor gear for more tests and more use down the road. I hope you've enjoyed this look at it. If you have any questions about this knife or any of the knives you ever see on my channel, feel free to ask down in the comments or hit me up on Instagram. In the meantime, if you're interested in this, follow the link that's in the description. It'll take you right to it. Thank you so much for your time today. We'll see you next time.